Coming together is the beginning, keeping together is the progress, working together is a success. We IBNs strongly believe in our thoughts and dreams, and we work together to achieve it.
Good afternoon. We, Eslinsha Shahin and Nivedita KP, would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you on this effulgent World Maritime Day celebration 2020. We hope we have lined up to be fruitful and engaging.
It's a great privilege to welcome our beloved Principal, Dr. D. Brinda, and our Honorable Vice Principal, Dr. A. Anguraj.
I take pride in welcoming our chief guest, Mr. Mohammed Sabit K, and guest of honor, Mr. Sumer Handa Bakshi.
I feel enthusiastic in welcoming our head of the department, Dr. T. Balmurugan, the other faculty members, and the student friends. Welcoming is an art. Now, we are pleased to have Sweta G to welcome the gathering.
Warm greetings to one and all. On behalf of our college, I, Shweta, from the Department of International Business, extend a very sincere warm welcome to all of you present here on our 6th Maritime Day celebration. I hereby welcome our Principal, Dr. D. Brinda, Vice Principal, Dr. A. Angaraj, Head of the Department, Dr. T. Balamurugan, my beloved professors and fellow students. I also feel proud to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Mohammed Sabit, Marketing Executive, Container Freight Station, Doha, Qatar. Our guest of honor, Mr. Sumer Handa Bakshi, founder of Save the Spirit of the Sea, New Delhi. I feel privileged to have welcomed you, sir. And also a special greetings to the head of the department, faculty members, and students from BBA Logistics, BCom FT, and BA Honors in International Business. Last but not the least, more than 150 students from various institutions across India and also students from 18 institutions from 11 countries like Canada, New Zealand, USA, UK, Republic of Korea, New Jersey, Poland, Australia, France, and Germany who took a great effort and participated in this ceremony. We feel proud to welcome you all. I hope that today inspires ideas and discussions around the ways that we can make our day even more special. Let us all cheerfully embellish this day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweta, for your warm welcome.
True leaders always practice the 3 R's: respect for self, respect for others, responsibility for all their actions. Our principal, Dr. D. Brunda, is one such leader who showered us with her fabulous actions and leading us in the right path. Ma'am, we request you to deliver the presidential address.
A pleasant good afternoon to one and all gathered here. First of all, I'm very happy that the first of its kind in this academic year, no other departments have organized such a wonderful baby parents, which makes the difference between the other departments. So with this, first of all, I'm very happy and glad to welcome our distinguished chief guest for the today's Webiference for the World Maritime Day. Chief guest of today's day, Mohammed Sabiki, and the guest of honor, Sumit Handabaski, and our beloved Vice Principal, Dr. Anguraj sir, Faculty in charge, Umarani madam, the most dedicated head of the department, Balamurugan sir, of this international business, and other HODs from foreign trade, Saranya madam, and HOD from the BA honors, Dr. Madhipurni madam, and also the HOD from BBA logistics, Dr. Gopalakrishnan sir, the faculty members from various departments, and the participants So I heard that more than 150 participants throughout all the country. I'm very, very happy to see this. All the participants throughout the country from various parts of the country, I mentioned Canada and so other countries, who are here to witness this virtual program. And above all, my dear student friends, this particular baby friends, which was conducted every year. So this World Maritime Day is celebrated in our college, PSG College of Arts and Science, annually, mainly to provide an opportunity to focus attention on the importance of the shipping, and also mainly to emphasize a particular aspect of the work of the International Maritime Organization, which we call it as IMO. So every year they used to give one specific theme. And this year, World Maritime Day is celebrated today, that is September 24th, 2020. But only difference is that we are now in the virtual mode. We are in the online mode. The event is virtually conducted. The reason is, you all are aware, this is because of the social distancing measures taken by the government and also due to this pandemic COVID-19. But anyway, does not make any difference, because rather I could say I'm appreciating regularly we will not find so much participants, like around all the almost the every parts of the country has participated. So this is really an appreciating move taken by the MIB department. So according to this maritime times, that is the theme is selected for this year. It's very interesting. It is given the title, it's a common title given as Sustainable Shipping for a Sustainable Planet. So this topic is scintillating because it provides an opportunity to create an awareness of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, what you call it as SDGs. It not only showcases the effort and the work which is undertaken by the IMOs, that is the International Maritime Organization. Mainly they focus to achieve the targets, to achieve the goals, whatever they want to achieve. The work which is done and the steps, the most urgent steps they have planned towards a sustainable future, especially as I know, the shipping industry, with the support of this IMO, has started moving ahead towards the sustainable future. So this particular topic is very catchy because what they have planned this year is that to take measures to particularly to cut the greenhouse gas emissions, and also to reduce the sulfur content of the fuel oil, that is the sulfur content of the ship fuel oil. Above all, to protect the polar regions, even to reduce the marine litter. So even they are also concentrating on improving the efficiency of the shipping. That is, from the normal mode, they are transforming to the electronic exchange of the information. So this is all highly appreciating. Above all, one point here I would like to stress here, because this particular year they have focused on the participation of the women, particularly in this maritime community. So this move is a very good move because which shows the women empowerment. So this particular topic which they have chosen here, this baby friends on the sustainable shipping for sustainable planet, they mainly focus on the participation of the women, because I would also always tell that in this department more number of the girl students are present, so they have a chance now. The women can participate in this particular maritime community, which is a good move, as I could say. Now, with all these things, this particular program will definitely benefit because there are two wonderful resource persons. So I urge all the department of the international business, that is the department, and all the other departments to actively participate in the interactions. So because this seminar is actually organized particularly for the students to have an opportunity to interact with the eminent resource persons, such that at least few of you may enter into this particular field, and this is particularly the need of the hour which everyone should know about it. So with this few words, my dear students, always you remember that this famous quote by Robin Sharma. What is it? Is that your I can is more important than your IQ. Hence, first I request all the students, I urge all the students to create a great zeal of confidence in you, in whatever type of the work or in whatever type of the wish you want to accomplish, and rest is all in your hands. So with these few words, even one more point also I would like to stress here is regarding the sustainable goal. So this sustainable goal, one of the important sustainable goal in the year 2015, 193 countries adopted a particular agenda. That is, in the year 2030, the Sustainable Development Goal is going to follow a common agenda. What is it? I hope all of you know it. It is to eradicate the poverty. So eradicating poverty and achieving sustainable development. So I hope that by 2030, no, that is, people will be there with the poverty. And why I want to tell about this is that our Department of the BA Honors, they have worked towards the society. So they are the part of this particular program called as Zero Hunger Challenge. So they always take part in this Zero Hunger Challenge of this UN and the action plan put up by this Dhyana Foundation. So they have taken an initiative to sell the clay pots. So the main idea is that one clay pot in every home will help us to revive the life of the clay potters and the art of the clay pottery. That means they are making them as the Zero Hunger Challenge. So I hope that our students definitely will have a particular chance to eradicate, or they will participate in eradicating the poverty already, which we have initiated in our campus. So with this few words, I invite all the students to actively participate and become the future citizens of the India, because you are going to contribute for the betterment of the society, and always you build up three important factories in your life. You always remember this. One factory is be cool. Be cool. That is, you build ice factory in your brain. How do you build ice factory in your brain? Is that always be cool, my dear students. The second factory is that build a sugar factory in your tongue. Why? You always be sweet in your words. Whatever type of the words you are talking, be sweet. And finally, you always be calm. How do you be calm? You love the factory, and that love factory should be in your heart. So you always be calm. So when you have all these three factories in your life, be cool, be sweet, be calm. These three should be in your brain, tongue, and heart. The fourth one will automatically come. What is that fourth one? It is nothing but the fourth factory called as satisfactory. So with this few words, I once again congratulate the that is the MIB department and the most vibrant head of the department, and also the dedicated faculty members, and also the chairperson, Tirumurugan, Bhavanti, secretary, and all the other participants who are here. So with this, I conclude, and I'm very happy once again. Thank you all for giving me a wonderful opportunity. Thank you all. I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for motivating, supporting us, and being part of our journey and leading us through the right path. Thank you, ma'am.
True leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. One such leader is our Vice Principal, Dr. A. Anguraj. We request you to felicitate the gathering, sir.
Respected Secretary and Principal Ma'am, respected Head of Department, Dr. Balamurgan, respected Principal Ma'am, Faculty in charge, Dr. Umarani Ma'am, Head of Department, Dr. Balamurgan, and other heads of the departments, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, Madhipurani, and other head of the departments, faculty members, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Department of International Business to celebrate this World Maritime Day even in this COVID pandemic period. I recall the last year program. It was really a wonderful program with colorful events, and I was attending the function, I suppose, in the new commerce block with all the students neatly dressed with coats. I was talking in such a way that I was speaking in a corporate company meeting like that. Okay, so we are all missing because of this COVID pandemic period. But this COVID give a lot of information for us. We learn a lot of things in this period. We learn how to live, how to keep our health conscious. We developed our teaching learning methodology. Even though there may be a setback in the economics, there are a lot of positive things are happening in the COVID period. Okay. So besides this pandemic period, I congratulate the Department of International Business and the vibrant HOD, Dr. Balamurgan, once again. Okay. Then the title is The Sustainable Shipping for a Sustainable Planet. The sustainable shipping is a very important nowadays because once there was no issues in the sea, but nowadays there are a lot of issues due to war. Even now we did a lot of things in the newspaper that is in the South Chinese Ocean. There may be a lot of problems with respect to the other countries, including China and other countries. So shipping is should be a safe shipping. Even sometimes when I heard of the weather forecasting, and the weatherman asked all the fishermen to return to the shore due to the tornado or some bad weather. I thought of one thing: why should we have a ship town in the middle of the sea? If there is a ship town, then these fishermen can go there and they will be safe. Okay, so we have to think. Even now, we are thinking to construct a town in the even other planet also, even Moon and Mars. Why don't we have such a ship town in the middle of the sea so that we can save or we can make the shipping is a sustainable one, and we can save all the fishermen and even some shipping ships, etc., etc. Okay, so I once again congratulate for conducting this function in a webinar. I mean, Web Friends. Okay, I congratulate all the students once again. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir, for gracing our occasion.
We all can work together, but together we win. We, MIB family, have worked together to create a great place for opportunities, knowledge, and talent. Now, may I invite S. Nika, Secretary, Department of International Business, to share our beguiled journey.
A happy noon to all. As a secretary of the department, I feel proud in introducing new textures in our department. Each student is unique in their own way and has got incomparable talents hidden within them. Their talents can be brought out by motivation and a right platform to exhibit them. Many students' talent has not been exhibited without these two factors, wherein we are provided with immense opportunities to honor knowledge and skills. Our department has been striving hard for the past 1 year to identify and bring out the talents of the students by resorting to various practices. We follow four main activities in our department. The first one is Cinco Dias, a practice in which we have themes for all the days in a week and students are asked to present accordingly. Second, we learn to greet each other in different foreign languages every week. Third is a session with an entrepreneur every month. Fourth is Back to Campus, an interactive session with alumni. In addition to all these, our department has planned to add two more activities. The first one is online blog named as Pen of IBNs. Many students have thinking and writing skills. So, in order to exhibit these creative talents of the students, our department has created an online blog through our department's website. Pen of IBNs will help to promote and publish our students' articles. It is my honor and privilege as Secretary of the Department to welcome to our budding website and to introduce to your new website, Planet IB. The department's website will also display the names of the student on monthly basis who are very much interactive and attentive with the title Student of the Month. As the famous saying goes, teaching is not only one profession, but that creates other profession. It's the teacher's responsibility to produce more good teachers for the betterment of the society. To bring out the teaching and presentation skills of the students, our department has brought out a practice called the teacher in you. It's so common to call an industrial person or academician for a webinar, but our own fellow mates who are in our class may have some special talents and knowledge that others may not be aware of. This platform provides opportunities to those students to share their cognition to other students through webinars. So every month, a student from first year and second year will be presenting an official webinar. We have participants for this international conference from various universities and countries like Australia, Germany, France, New Zealand, Poland, and United States. We would like to build up and strengthen our relationship between these universities. So, the teacher in you will be broadcasted live through our department's YouTube channel for other students to get access to those informations. We start this practice from the 6th Maritime Day of our department. And we wish for the blessings and support of our Principal Ma'am, Vice Principal Sir, Chief Guest, and Guest of Honor for our department's present and future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweka. Now, may I invite Ms. Niveta GB to introduce the chief guest, Mr. Mohammed Sabit K.
To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. It's a great pleasure to introduce the chief guest of this session, Mr. K. Mohammed Sabit. He has completed his BBA and MBA graduation in Calicut University. His native is Kerala. He has been working as freight forwarding agent since 2016 and currently he is a marketing head in Container Freight Station, Doha, Qatar. He is an effective logistics management professional with the multiple aspects of organizational skills, problem-solving analysis, operational information, and business development knowledge. He is a hard worker, highly committed, and passionate towards his profession. He has been here to enrich us with his knowledge and experience of his career growth in the field of logistics services. Sir, I'll hand over the session to you.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here on this your wonderful occasion. Respected Principal Dr. D. Brinda, Vice Principal Dr. A. Ankuraj, and our guest of honor, Sumari Handa Bakshi, founder of Save the Spirit of Sea, New Delhi. And the entire team who conducted this event on this situation is really appreciable, really inspired. It's really inspired for the other people who are also planning to conduct an event like this. First of all, the word itself, there is a uniqueness, the difference. The word when I heard the word, I found something interesting. That is difference. What thought? You all, the team, the organizers, who worked behind this. I congratulate all of you. So I'm here to share my bit of experience. I don't know I have enough experience to share it, but I'll try my best. I was started here 5 years ago when I was started. I didn't thought about that I am fit for this job because it was a different kind of environment one can work with. It's uh, it's not an easy task when I entered into this shipping field. Shipping has its something interesting, something haunting fact uh, is there in shipping itself. So when my initial time when I started, it was really hard for me to survive. Later, 6 to 8 months, I found myself and I was I was starting getting things slowly and steadily. I was in the zone. So first, let me tell you that who all present here, who all be following logistics, you are on the right track. You choose the right field. So I I really wish all of your success. And so I'm not going for any technical terms, any technical theoretical things for regarding shipping because you have good knowledge about shipping than me in terms of theoretical. I have only experience. So let me say this shipping has its a very interesting fact I said before, which is we this field changed me a lot of ways. Like uh, as a different kind of environment, emotions, situations have to be dealt with it on daily basis. We are getting like numerous number of calls, pressures, different problems daily, on daily different kind of issues we are facing. So all these things compose me in a certain level. The circumstances on daily basis I'm dealing with, I'm dealing with, we are handling is entirely different from the outside the circle. When someone sees, it's simple, it's nothing. It's he's seeing like we are texting messages, we are sending emails, or we are simply sitting going outside, but it's not an easy job to handle it. It's not a, while comparing with other jobs, it's entirely a different environment. There will be number of issues on daily basis. You are getting calls, pressures from the clients. Most important thing is we have to be alert or active. 24 into 7, we have to be very active. The thing is, if you have an urgent requirement from Far East sector or Europe or US, any sector, as you know, for in Far East, they will open at 5 o'clock in the morning. So if I have any urgent requirement from their sector, I have to be there to communicate with them, there to fulfill my requirement. I have to be active on that time. If it is US, they will be open at 5 in the evening and they will close at 1 or 2 p.m. On that period of time also, if I have anything urgent requirement, I have to be there. So shipping will compose you in a certain level. It has a power of change our personality, attitude, etc. Through all these emotions, situations, we will this will change. This field will change you both professionally and personally because it will give you a space of not to be free. It will not give you a space of not to be free. You cannot sit peacefully. You cannot ever sit because even if in the vacation or on a holiday also, it we are on the mindset that something was we have committed a shipment. It has to be arrive on time. It has to be cleared on time without any issues because so for a logistician there is no free time. There is no holiday, no vacation, nothing. We have to be alert all the time, have to be active. In that case, I would say, while comparing to the other jobs, this has have a power to be we can stand in front of anyone anywhere in the world. There is logistics. That is why I am saying, not me, we are on the right track. You chose the right field to grow. So I'm expertise in LCLs. As you know, is a less than a container load. LCLs is something entirely different from FCL shipments. Now I think for GCC now there is three hub ports, major ports like Colombo, Namasheva, and Singapore. Before it was Jebel Ali. As you know, this due to this blockage and all, Jebel Ali was closed for Qatar, and so we are using hub port as Colombo and Namasheva, Singapore, etc. So LCL consolidation means we are collecting goods from certain countries, and all those cargo will be coming via this hub ports, via hub ports like Colombo or Singapore. It will come there and they will gather all our cargoes in a container and they will close under our company name. That is LCL. So you have to be I wish all everyone bright future. You all have a you all have capable enough to prove yourself that you are in the zone or you are fit for this job. If I can, you all can easily enter into this field without any doubt. Of course, there are some issues with the other jobs and all, but this job has its uniqueness, and you are the right person to. You all are very capable enough to do this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. And I congratulate all the team who made this effort on this situation. It is quite remarkable, and what brilliant thought as the difference. Thank you so much. I like to wind up this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving us an insight on sustainable shipping and sharing your experience with us. Now it's time for a Q&A session. If anyone has any question, sir would be pleased to answer them.
Myself, Bhavanti, sir.
Hi.
Um, so you have experienced in many things in your field, sir. Which part you feel it's a difficult one in your field, sir?
Sorry, I didn't heard you properly. Your question was?
So you may have worked in many field work, right, sir, in this your work.
Okay.
Which part is very difficult, which you feel, sir?
On this, what I'm doing right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, for shipping, I cannot pick one particular field which is quite difficult. Shipping itself is difficult. That on daily basis there will be number of calls. Customer will call you with say so certain issues. I think I cannot pick one as a difficult. It is difficult for its whole process is difficult because a minor mistake can lead you up, can cost you very high. A minor carelessness will cost you very high because the cargo values are will be that much, like a 50, 60,000 dollar cargo. If I committed to ship, and if I does a minor mistake or minor careless documentation error itself, the whole cargo will be held in the port. So I cannot pick one, but still this is quite interesting. And when you enter onto this experience now, you will understand that. Thank you.
So, in this pandemic situation, how you manage your clients, sir? And how was the container station works?
Yes, based on the circumstances we have faced last 5 to 6 months, It was difficult like 2 3 months because almost all the port was shut down, and there were some of our, I think, a lot of cargoes which is stacked on the transit ports. It was like we have faced the delay of 2 3 months. It was supposed to arrive in between 1 to 1.5 months, but it took like 3 to 4 months. But still, we have to or we I think we didn't want to explain our clients that, because everyone knows the situation getting worse on that time, on day by day basis. So we have managed to convince our clients, and we have safely exported or imported our shipment, which was in transit on time, and it was difficult, but we managed. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Which is best career, sir, in CHA or career in liner, sir?
Uh, I would prefer liners.
Any reason, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Because the reason being, liners have uh, that opportunity, or the liners have that kind of power of they have their own line, because they can import containers, and they can send they can import, they have the what we can say, that they have service from all the sectors, and they can give you whatever rates possible according to the demand. So I would prefer liner. I will say, if you have the opportunity to work for a liner like MSC, MERS, CMA, CGM, all those international liners, and that will give you a opportunity to learn international basis, international shipping. In a freight forwarding company, I think you will be learning a particular field or particular department. But I would say, if you want to learn the whole process, you have to enter in in a liner company. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
one more question, sir. What skill we need to success in shipping, sir?
What skill? Good question. Good question.
What what skill we need to succeed in shipping?
Yes, it's a good question. The thing is that we need to be spontaneously, we need to react according to the situation. We need to respond according to the situation. This field requires the, the spontaneous thinking. If there is any issue, you found any issue you found, you have to react accordingly to convince your client, to convince your agent partners. For sure, there will be problems. For sure, there will be pressure. Everything will be there. But if I could say, you have to think spontaneously. You have to react according to the situation. That's what I would prefer. Thank you.
Thank you once again, sir. We appreciate you for taking your busy time schedule to join us here today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much for having me here. I would like to take leave. Thank you so much.
I request Ms. Vigashini to introduce the guest of honor, Mr. Sumer Handa Bakshi.
Plans to protect air and water, wilderness and wildlife are in fact plans to protect man. I take great pride in introducing today's guest of honor, Mr. Sumer Handa Bakshi, an animal and environmental activist. He is the founder of Save the Spirit of the Sea, an organization that is working towards the conservation of aquatic life through awareness and volunteerism, and is currently working on a global movement to preserve the river Ganga. At a very young age, he began working towards the conservation of wildlife and raising awareness about the perils our environment is facing. Mr. Sumer first began his attempts by raising awareness through the social media to educate people about the adverse impact of the human activities on the environment. After founding Save the Spirit of the Sea, he held a protest at the Japanese embassy in New Delhi against the cruel Taiji dolphin drive hunts in which 20,000 dolphins were killed every year. This movement gained the attention of many government officials, diplomats, and also celebrities, including the famous cricket icon Yuvraj Singh and actress Hazel Keech, who supported his campaign. He was also invited to attend a PETA conference in New Delhi with the founder of PETA, wherein he established contacts with many scientists and recognized personalities who are known for their extraordinary efforts towards protecting the environment. The horrific plight of the Ganges River in India and the devastating impact of the human activities on its species made him realize his calling to work towards protecting its environment. So in 2017, he started the campaign Save the Spirit of the Ganga to conserve the Ganges River and its species by raising awareness about the sad plight of the river and its species through a documentary film. In 2019, he was awarded the Earth Day Rising Star Award for his efforts in protecting marine life. Sir, I now hand over the session to you.
Thank you very much. That was a very lovely introduction. I must say I'm honored to be here, and I feel very honored to be able to represent my cause and what I'm about to present to you today. I'd also like to thank Bharat for inviting me particularly, and it's truly a wonderful experience and a wonderful way that I'd love to be able to share my experience and story with all of you. So when I start, primarily I'd say I was always into conservation since a very young age. Since the age of around 7 or 8 years old, I'd been heavily vested into marine life and protecting the environment, having traveled across the world. I was born in Botswana, which is in South Africa, so the nature was in my backyard. I was able to see wilderness in its true form with proper conservation facilities. Botswana having the largest elephant population in the world, of wild elephants that is, and I was able to see how beautiful the world can actually exist if there are measures taken to preserve nature and the environment. However, after that, I moved to India, my father being an Indian, and I came to see the horrible plight that the environment is facing in India. You look at places where you see animals in cages, which is like a zoo, and people call them safari parks. I was more affected by the plight of the river Ganga when I was very young, must be 6 or 7 years old. I went to Haridwar for the immersion of ashes of a family member, and I'd seen the terrible water quality of the river, which was brown. You couldn't see anything. I'd seen plastic. I'd seen people doing all sorts of things by the banks of the river Ganga, and I was shocked that this is a river that we treat as a goddess, yet it's so polluted. Later, my mother told me that there are dolphins residing in the river, there are sharks residing in the river, there's a gharial residing in the river. And I was just so questioning over how can such magnificent species reside in waters so polluted. I also attended the world famous Ganga Aarti at Hatki Pauri, which is where thousands of people immerse diyas or floating ornaments into the river Ganga. At that time, there weren't any laws over the types of ornaments that could be immersed during this Aarti at world famous sites. And I'd seen plastic and all sorts of things being immersed into the river as prayer. Now, this is something extremely ironic, which I found very, very strange to be happening in a country where our religious scriptures have forever valued the importance of nature. We have Pavan Putra Hanuman, son of the wind, and that shows just how in touch our Indian culture is with nature. Yet, in modern traditions, we have lost these values when we seem to be carrying these traditions forward. And I felt at a very young age that action needed to be taken. However, as I grew older, I decided I could do something about it rather than just thinking over why there's such a problem and acknowledging it. I decided to tell my friends about it in school. And living in India, people all over the country are familiar with the plight of the river Ganga. However, many people don't do much about it. In fact, I believe it was in the late 1990s that the government started a campaign called the Save the Ganga movement. I'm not sure exactly what it was, Clean Ganga. But it was underfunded. It wasn't efficient. I think it was over $300 million invested. However, that was too little for the population of India that lives beside the banks of the river Ganga, and measures weren't sufficient to help rejuvenate the river Ganga. And what I found most shocking is that we have over 50 dams over the banks of the river Ganga, yet none of them have a bypass for the species to move across freely. And there's so many commercial activities. You're talking about shipping, there's dredging that happens in the river Ganga, where the banks are literally blazed through to make space for ships to move across the river Ganga. Now, the effects that this has for the species of the Ganga is catastrophic. Look, for example, fish populations, migration patterns, they're all being disturbed. And as a result of this, higher species, such as dolphins and sharks, which hunt these fish, are also affected. And over the years, from 1950 to now 2020, where we're in, we've seen a decline of nearly 70% of Ganges River dolphins, where there were first 6,000, and now there's around 2,000 left in all of India. And this is something very sad, because it shows that there's a lack of action being taken to reduce this. What's even more striking to me is that China also used to have a river dolphin, the Baiji River dolphin, that flew through the Yangtze River, otherwise called the Brahmaputra River, when it reaches India. And this dolphin went extinct in 2006 due to the exact same circumstances that the river Ganga is facing now. However, China too was very complacent about this and only started taking action until the last moment, when the population was less than 1,000. However, it was too late to save them, as action was not taken soon enough and was inefficient. I'm worried that India is headed around the same tangent if we do not take action at the earliest. For this reason, I was very inspired to start my organization, Save the Spirit of the Sea, which I started as nothing more than a few social media handles at the age of 13. When I started this, I had one intent only, which was to educate people about this plight so that higher authorities could start taking action once they see collective change coming from the side of the youth, especially. Being only 13 years old, I was limited in my knowledge and my scope. However, I never let this stop me. As I grew older, I kept on researching more and more. And in the year 2015, I held a protest outside the Japanese embassy, where I gathered the support of friends from schools across Delhi and had a petition with over 4,000 signatures hand collected across the country, which I submitted to the Japanese ambassador of New Delhi against their dolphin slaughter, where this is another very cruel industry that most people aren't aware about, which is the captive industry. So if you look at Taiji, Japan, they have a massive captive industry where they sell dolphins to marine parks across the globe. You look at places like America, Dubai, Canada, they all purchase dolphins from Japan, where these dolphins are hunted and trapped from the wild. Now, what's important to know is that dolphins are one of the world's most intelligent species and the most emotional species. So doing this is cruel beyond any concern. And this deeply resonated with me, because having traveled across the world and having supported these industries, having visited these marine parks, I was never aware of this problem. However, once I stopped thinking in terms of entertainment and self-greed to be able to experience something that's actually deriving the life of another creature, I thought that it's time that I must take action against this. Ever since then, no one in my family has ever visited a zoo or marine park because of the tremendously terrible consequences it has on the animals that are trapped over there. I also learned that in this process, nearly 20,000 dolphins are killed, as the Japanese sell some of the dolphins as meat, which is consumed by locals. However, most Japanese don't even know about this. It's only in that small town of Taiji that this corruption occurs, and the government hasn't done anything to limit it. And I was inspired by Rico Barry, who's an activist in London. And I held a protest in Delhi on the 18th of December, gathering approximately 50 people to show up, and a signature with 4,000 signatures. After this, I gained much more action than I ever had before. And I decided that it's time to work upon my original passion, which was my most ambitious project, that of saving the river Ganga. Now, saving the river Ganga is a very vague term, I believe, because how do you save the Ganga? There's so many bigger authorities taken much more action. If you look at government agencies and funding, naturally, as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, I couldn't do much. I couldn't match those funds. But I thought that on the ground level, there is nothing happening. If you look at other states, you look at other countries, for example, the River Thames in London, which was one of the most polluted rivers at the time, there was massive action taken by locals, by citizens of the country, to clean the river. And now it's one of the pinnacles of rejuvenation in the world. You look at the river Yamuna in India, which is now one of the most polluted rivers in the world, and in some areas is believed to no longer have the ability to harbor life. It's extremely sad and shocking because we basically killed one of our sacred rivers of the country. And I strongly believe that rivers are the lifeblood of all agriculture, of all land, because they support our drinking needs. Fresh water is so limited in this country and in the world. And they support the crops that we grow. They support the livelihoods of the people living by the banks of the river. They support fishing, which is an industry for local fishermen of our country. And when you have a river that's dying and can no longer harbor fish, how are you meant to do anything with that? And once action is starting to be taken on the ground level, then we can truly achieve a change. So what I did is I began to crowdfund. I opened up a crowdfunding site at the age of 15, and I raised about 10 lakhs in order to start my project. I had a vision first to make a documentary film, but then I realized that to appeal to the youth, a documentary isn't something that most people would spend their time watching. So I changed my vision. I said, no, I'm going to make a series of short 2 to 3 minute videos that I will start spreading out to the world in order to educate them about a plight that many people don't know about. If you look anywhere internationally, people don't know about the River Ganga. People in our own country have barely heard of the Ganges River dolphin, and I'm sure most of you never even knew there was a Ganges River shark. The Ganges River dolphin has less than 2,000 remaining individuals, and the Ganges River shark is critically endangered with an estimated less than 50 remaining sharks in the river. Now, this is something that is disastrous, and the fact that no one knows about it, let alone people talking about it, let alone any action being done, is horrific to me, because we're on the brink of losing one of the most important species of an ecosystem, and this species is one that only exists in one country. There's no other Ganges River shark anywhere in the world. We lose the species, we lose it for good. So if nothing is being done about it, something has to be done. And I thought we need bold, strong, committed action towards this. So once I started crowdfunding and I had enough funds, I partnered with one of the largest film firms in the region, the India Film Services, and I told them that this is what I want to do. So after about a year of crowdfunding, only 15 at the time, I planned a trip to Bihar to the Vikramshila Dolphin Sanctuary, where I went with a team of 15 members to film the Ganges River dolphin and part of the first video that we're about to release at the end of the year. And it was a tremendous success because not only was I able to see the Ganges River dolphins, I was able to see many things. I was able to see dolphin, yet destruction. How? I was able to see inside a sanctuary sewage lines going straight into the river. And this was something that I found so sad. If we look abroad, this is something that is unheard of in a sanctuary having sewage water going into the river. But because of poor waste management and ecological management, our own river Ganga inside a sanctuary is being polluted. And this is what harbors over 50% of our river dolphin population, which is extremely devastating. I also learned that the river dolphins of the Ganga are now born blind, and this is because their eyes have adapted to the terrible water quality of the river. This was something heartaching for me, because as a lover of animals and as a lover of dolphins and admirer of nature, I thought this was extremely sad, and that change needs to take place on the ground action. After filming this part of my documentary, I gathered friends from all across the country. I gathered students from schools ranging from Himachal all the way to Bangalore and Delhi and Bombay. And I got them to come to Delhi to clean the river Yamuna in a movement to show the commitment of the youth towards a cause that is so much needed in our country, because in India we rarely see such action taken for our rivers. I was inspired by a gentleman in Mumbai named Afroz Shah, who has truly showed the effect of perseverance when you want to take a change. Afroz Shah was just a lawyer, but he had a passion for cleaning Mumbai's beaches and successfully cleaned Versova Beach, which after, I believe, nearly 20 years had turtles laying their eggs on the beach of Versova Beach. This is something truly fantastic, because without any government intervention, without any authoritarian help, he was able to achieve something just by the collective movement of people working together for a few hours every weekend. And this is what I strongly believe, is that one action, a small action, multiplied by millions of people, can truly make a massive difference. And I feel that this is something that we must inculcate together in society. There's an African proverb that I strongly believe, living in Africa and being an Indian, I believe that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And once we start to act together, and once we try to make a collective change together, we can make a truly big difference. And now, as I'm about to reach the foothills of something that I hope and truly believe will be a start of a revolution in India. I hope that people across the world can join together and take action wherever they can inside their community, be it picking up trash from a local lake or village or whatever, and trying to recycle, trying to limit your use of single-use plastics. I mean, use a metal straw instead, use a reusable bottle. Why waste unnecessarily when you know that that bottle is probably going to end up in a river, harming a river dolphin or something like that? And when you have an option to make small changes to your livelihood, when you have an option to stop supporting such industries, the demand will reduce and eventually the supply will, which is what people need to realize. And that is so important because right now we live in a generation where everything is on our fingertips. You look at your phone, you have everything at the press of a button. Right now, we're the most powerful and most comfortable generation to have ever existed through the advent of social media. Now, every reaction on Facebook, say you write a like emoji or an angry face or something, it shows your engagement with a cause. And once you begin to engage with such causes and issues of importance, global issues of importance in society, you show that you want to be a part of something. And it is significant because you make it a part of your digital footprint. When you share something on your Instagram story, it shows you care about something and that you want to make a change about it. And once you start raising awareness about a particular issue, action starts coming intrinsically, not only by people who see your story, but also by authorities seeing that citizens want to change. And we must realize that as the most powerful generation, we have this power to do this so easily. It takes a second to post something on your story. It takes a second to react to something. And it takes a second to create content that can truly influence the viewpoints of others into taking such small collective action, which can create massive changes. And that's what I'd like to leave you with. Thank you. It's been an honor.
Hi, sir.
Hello. Yes.
Sir, thanks a lot for your wonderful session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And few question and answer section is this. So
Yeah.
my friends are ready to ask some questions.
Sure.
So they will go with the questions.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good evening. One question, sir. Which is
Yeah.
more critical problem you faced while volunteering, sir?
While volunteering, the most critical problem is that people often don't prioritize, say, cleaning the environment or doing some action, even if it's for a small amount of time over, say, a party or something like that. They'd always choose something that's easier, more leisurely, more comfortable. So it takes a bit of an extra push to convince someone, no, this matters because what you're doing makes a difference. And at the same time, it isn't something tiresome or fun or boring. It's actually something fun because when you're communicating and interacting with so many people from different parts of the country in something that actually matters, it's very significant. And you get intrinsic satisfaction and you get determination that you matter more than just someone sitting on their phone at home. And it shows that you have value as an individual. I strongly believe that my purpose on this world, which is my rent for living on this planet, is advocating for such causes and trying to make a difference. And that way, each of us has a part to play. So once you have that realization that you're not the center of yourself and there's so much more around you, and you have this awareness that you're responsible for so much because it is a result of your actions why there's pollution in certain areas. Once you feel that responsibility, you begin to feel intrinsically motivated and satisfied.
So there is a question, sir.
Yeah.
What is your first advice or request to Indian citizens, sir, regarding sea?
Regarding the sea? Well, having seen, most people are unaware of their small actions. I mean, if you look at the 400 million people living by the banks of the Ganga, there's a lot of public defecation. This also happens by the beaches of India. Public defecation, pollution, throwing shampoo bottles, stuff like that. Just be more careful when you do it. Don't do that. When there's trash cans available inside the city, why would you want to pollute the oceans? Now, another thing is try and limit your consumption of fish, because if you look at industries, you know, one thing that I find shocking is that over 3 trillion fish are pulled out of our oceans every year. Now, this is at a rate that fish are being killed more than they're reproducing. For most species, if you look at salmon, there's been a 97% decline. You look at bluefin tuna, there's been a 96% decline in catches that have been happening over years. So if you can support local, don't buy from fish companies because they've got years of stocks of fish and they're just minting money off the degradation of our oceans. In terms of pollution, I mean, limit your use of single-use plastics. You go to McDonald's, don't use that plastic straw. You carry your own cup. You go to Starbucks, carry your own straw or don't ask for it. I mean, you can take that action on your level. And if you want to go beyond that, try and get involved with projects in your community. You live by the coast, try and get involved with it. You can clean whatever you can, get involved with it. Even if no one else is doing it, start doing something and people will follow. That's only natural. Yeah.
So thank you, sir. And one more question
Yeah.
about your family support in your service, sir.
My family's support has been paramount. My parents have truly helped me in almost every endeavor. My grandparents, my aunts and uncle, they've all been very supportive with advice, with fundraising, and I truly cannot be more thankful than that. It's just a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, yeah, sir. And a question in chat box, like Sudarshan asked, have you ever felt that you have communicated with nature?
Of course, on multiple levels. I had the blessed opportunity to be able to swim with the Ganges River dolphins, which very few people have done when I traveled to Bihar. I swam over 20 feet deep into the river Ganga and was privileged to encounter wild dolphins swimming. I've gone scuba diving on multiple occasions. I've been shark diving with great white sharks in Cape Town in South Africa, which was truly a wonderful, enlightening experience because I was able to see that sharks aren't the way the media portrays them to be. They're not bloodthirsty animals. That's all false. In fact, sharks only kill 7 humans a year, which is by accident because they mistake them for their natural predators, which are seals. Whereas in reality, humans kill over 100 million sharks a year for shark fin soup, which is decimating their populations and is the most cruel thing to do in the world. And I truly felt to connect with the ocean at that time because when you're standing in front of something so big, swimming in the ocean, unrestrained and unlimited, you just feel this massive power upon you, but you feel so connected with it. It's like it's an admiration and fear at the same time. But I realized that the fear was irrational because you've just got to respect nature the way it is and don't think that you govern it. I also learned that people say it's shark infested waters when I went swimming in Cape Town. I said, no, these are human infested waters. This is a shark's natural home. We're the ones invading their space. So to kill a shark because it's swimming in the ocean, that's the most unethical thing that you can ever do. Additionally, I'm a big lover of snakes. I'm a professional snake handler, having done courses in South Africa with black mambas, cobras, all sorts of stuff. And I truly feel connected. Lord Shiva. Yep.
Okay, hi sir, this is Kartika.
Hello.
Hope you're doing great. I have a question for you.
Yep.
Like, have you ever felt demotivated while doing this session? If so, how have you overcome that fear? Oh, this motivation.
So I learned that perseverance is something that is required constantly. I learned that it takes time because initially I planned to raise 10 lakhs in just a matter of a month. And I realized that it was not possible. I didn't have the connections and I didn't have the plan ready. So I learned one thing, that it's always important to have a plan. As an idiot without a plan, in fact, an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. And that's something I learned the hard way. I thought things would just fall into place naturally, but it's not always the case. And another thing is, I learned good things take time. I read a quote once that it takes 24 hours to build a Toyota, but it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce. And that means good things take time. So you've got to be patient. You've got to trust the process. And best thing is, make a plan. Make sure that you're prepared.
Yeah, okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So one question, sir.
Sure.
Difference between Indian and African Sea?
The difference between the Indian and African Sea. There's no difference really. It's just they're just in two different parts of the country. If you look at the African Sea, I mean, there's parts of the Indian Ocean that meet some places in Africa, and it converges with the Atlantic Ocean in a southern part. And then India is close to the Arabian Sea, to the Indian Ocean. Yeah, it's not much of a difference really. The fish and stuff are kind of similar. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you taking your time off your busy schedule to join us here today and for such an inspirational talk.
Thank you. No need to call me sir. Thank you. All right. I'll take your leave. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Award ceremonies are a celebration of talent, success, and achievement. Now, we would like to announce the winners of the inter-college competition Connection conducted 23rd of September in cordial with the World Maritime Day celebration 2020. The winners are awarded with the digital badges. The first award for the evening is runners Shushant and Ashwin from PSD Institute of Management, Coimbatore. They are presented with the digital badge, the Majestic Mariner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next award is presented to the winners, Priyadashni and Sanjana from Sri Krishna College, Coimbatore. They are presented with the digital badge, Aesthetic Sailors.
Thank you.
Congratulations, winners. A kind notice, the feedback form and the participation certificate link is posted in the chat box. Thank you.
The essence of all beautiful art is gratitude. Now, I request V. Tirumurugan, Chairperson, Department of IT, to deliver the word of thanks.
Gratitude is not only a greatest of all witness, but a parent of all others. I deemed it a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all those who have contributed this Webby Friends on this wonderful World Maritime Day. I, on behalf of students and the fraternity of our department, we first of all thank our principal and vice principal for their moral support, and our soulful thank to our head of the department, Dr. T. Balamurugan, and faculty members for their guidance. We extend our heartfelt vote of thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Muhammad Sabit, as well as the guest of honor, Mr. Sumay Harna Pakshi, as gracing our today's occasion. A special thanks to faculty members and students who have participated from various institutions across country, even from abroad. Thank to wonderful participants for their discipline and coordinated cooperation. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Thiru. A ship in a port is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Sail out to sea and do new things. We have come to the end of the session. Thank you, everyone, for your cordial cooperation.